anytime one black person can call another black person a nigger, what makes you think that they can't kill each other just as easily?
There's a lot of gun violence in the area. These young boys, they get trigger happy. They watch Juice or hear a rap song and want to do that, so they get caught.
Because they find guns is useful to them now. They feel that if they have a gun, they could scare other people away, but it's not that easy as they think.
Gun violence is out of control, because I feel these young kids is trying to prove stuff to the older folks, you know what I mean? It ain't even really about that. I think it's stupid.
I feel gun violence isn't really necessary because there are other ways that we can resolve our issues and our problems or beef.
Crimes Mediation Center is an organization that's open to help individuals in the community diffuse conflict. Whether it's family conflict, in-school conflict, landlord-tenants issue, that is our main focus. However, we have now expanded into doing a lot more professional development by teaching mediation classes, conflict resolution classes, and running a rites of passage program to help individuals become better advocates for themselves dealing with conflict.
I think there is gun violence in Crown Heights, and it's something that the community is definitely working on, trying to make better. In fact, as a matter of fact, being that I work on the staff of Assemblyman Kareem Kamara, he just started a coalition in the Ward 8 area where that is the main focus. How can we try to prevent and get lower the rate of gun violence?
What I'm taking you through now is relatively, it's a decent neighborhood. We have a lot of decent folk that live here, but this is the major strip of where the drugs and the gun shooting is.
I've lived in the community for over 44 years, and I've seen changes within the last 25 years. We've never had the gun violence that we're having now.
I think now it has come to the forefront because what we're hearing and what we're seeing is now we have a lot of young people that are becoming victims of gun violence. Our relationship with the local precincts give us some sort of privilege at times to hear about a lot of the statistics regarding gun violence and the actual incidents that take place within the community. So that information, even though it's relayed to the mass media, I think we get an up-close advantage, if you want to call it such, to see and to hear a lot of the incidents that take place.
First time I see somebody get shot, about 12 years old, right in the projects, right across the street.
We got times where I got guns pointed at me, and times where I was offered to buy guns for my protection, and it affected me a lot because I would think about it every night and day about should I or should I not have a gun by my side to protect me.
I do think gun violence has a big effect in the area because a lot of kids want to be down with each other and they want to be part of gangs and a lot of activities that go on in the neighborhood that do with gang violence.
They're portrayed as very tough, by their peers, by the names that they have, their slang names. And then when you see these youth, if they're a victim of a shooting, you see the fear in their eyes if they're still alive when we arrive to a scene. You see how scared they are, and you see that they want to live. But it's too late because they allowed this to go on to the point that now they're a victim and now they're dying from what they show no fear from. Now the gunplay, they're laying on the floor and now they're feeling fear.
Sometimes you don't realize that carrying a gun, you think that you're protecting yourself, and many times you're actually making it worse because you don't realize that the person who has a gun on the other side of you is going to use that gun against you, and then you don't realize that until you come into the hospital, into the ER, and you have gunshot wounds all over the place. And many of these gunshot wounds are devastating. Kids are shot, see themselves bleeding, and they usually don't do very well. People get hurt and hurt bad, all types of gunshot wounds through the stomach, through the head. Many times now we're getting mafia type shot, gunshot wounds to the head, where these are killing shots, not shooting somebody in the foot or shooting somebody in the leg. These are almost hit shots to the head, to the temple, and things like that, where young kids have no chance at all to live.
couple years ago, a close friend of mine have died from gun violence, her and her kids, because of the fact that she had problems in the neighborhood, and the people that she had problems with came by her neighborhood and killed her and the rest and her kids too.
As a funeral director, we've had hundreds of teenagers between of 13 and 19 come through this funeral home establishment. I view it as an unnecessary act. I view it as not only the person leaving here, but when you really look at it, gun violence has taken not only the future of our people, it also has taken away fatherhood, it's taken away one's creativity, it's taken away possibly the next great inventor, possibly the next great doctor. It's taken away people who could have possibly made an impact on life.
Buck had this wall done and continues to have the name of some of the deceased members of the community. On, you know, the Labor Day morning when the hero sanitation worker, Damon Allen, was killed, that was my cousin. Damon's name has been added to the wall. These are all young people from the community. Average ones on here were all murdered or killed within the community, shot and killed. In this community, we're all a family. You know, we all grew up with each other, so we all think of each other as a family, no matter, you know, what walk of life you are in the community. You know, we're all, you know, we surround each other with love. It's sad, you know, it's sad to come through and see all of this, but, you know, just knowing that people care enough in the community to commemorate you. You know, even if it is on just a wall in the community. And actually, some people know that one day their name will be on this wall. You know, they know that their name will be up there.
As a resident of Crown Heights, we definitely hear gunshots. What scares me is that, you know, people, you know, do shoot them off any time of the day, and a person could be walking by, and it's bad, you know, for the victim, it's bad for the bystanders.
Certainly in the spring and summertime, there's much more gun violence here in Brooklyn. And that's usually because more people are hanging out, more drive-by shootings, more people hanging out at parties, more people are hanging out at the different roller skating rinks, which is really one of the big problems here in Brooklyn. People just standing on the street will certainly get shot. Much more gun violence during the spring and summertime. Not as much during the wintertime, and that's usually because it's colder. More people stand inside.
It's usually on the weekends when I hear the gunfire. Usually on weekends, starting Friday night through Saturday. Sometime even Sunday evening. I knew one time it was so strong that I got up. I didn't go to the window from my bedroom. I could still hear the guns going on.
The youngest person that I had to prepare as a result of gun violence was probably around 9 years old. He was a 9-year-old victim, actually, that was not involved in the confrontation. It was as a result of a stray bullet actually coming through the window of his home as he peeked out to see what was going on outside.
Sometimes you feel as if you're in a war zone living in this community when you have to see things within your community in order to keep the crime down, like Skywatch, you know. But, you know, a lot of people feel safer. I know when it was on my corner, St. Mark's Avenue, people were like, they were glad that they had Big Brother watching.
I don't think the cops are doing enough to address the situation, because if they were, a lot of people won't be getting shot and a lot of people won't be dying every day from gun violence.
The police scared of this area. They don't come through here.
I feel the police is doing all they can do. The population in this city